Calliope killing the building. Possibly going to kill that unit on retreat. Oh, he's so lucky. Oh, wait, nope. That unit's down to 1. That's a 5-man squad. That man died on retreat. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17 bringing you another CH2 replay. This is a 2v2 on Crossing in the Woods. We got 2 OKW, 2 American versus each other. Should be really interesting indeed, as well. I haven't really seen a full American force in a little while. We got Krieg, Bez, Totance, and Prof Keeler, so I'll just call them Keeler. Double check their playtime. They have a decent amount. Oh my god, allies have advantage on playtime, but we'll see if that actually matters in this game, because, you know, I have a shirt that literally says that doesn't matter. So there you go. But in any case, if you want to see me replay, spin to greyshotproductions@gmail.com. Crossing the Woods. Really enjoy this map. Really good 2v2 map. The Americans are going to have a bit of an issue, but they have a nice wide selection of doctrines. None of them with rifle grenades, which I saw up here earlier. I'm like, oh, he's deploying a lot of riflemen. Echelon units. So usually you have some bonuses, something like that you can go and complement if you're going to go an early playstyle like that, but it seems like he's just trying to capture territory. Storm Pioneer is going in for the deep cut and actually cutting off the allied line, so good job there. That will make sure the allies literally are getting, well, very little resources. Now we can see here that the allies tried to do the same thing, but the middle point's the linchpin, and then the Axis currently have it controlled, so good job. Meanwhile, the Americans on the far left, aka Krieg Hound, is pushing on forward. Lots of riflemen on the front, trying to grab all that territory as much as possible. Additional forces coming on in, forcing that Storm Pioneer squad to retreat, and seems to be doing a damn good job with that. It looks, unfortunately, they forgot to capture mid, so the resources are still not coming on in, which they may want to focus on soon. But at least for the time being, at least they've kept the Axis back. Wow, massive push actually. Again, moving cover to cover. Volk squad's got a bit of an issue. They realize that and going to pull back, focus fire on the one squad that is more pressing it, more cutting them off. If that squad would have killed them, it could have really damaged all their units retreating. Meanwhile, we have more Volk squads coming in to support, so these riflemen gonna need something to help them. And meanwhile, no resources coming on in, which is a big oops. A lot of support. Again, we have a mortar over here, so a little different. Lieutenants coming in, so we could see what it was. T-70? Not T-70, Jesus Christ. Soviet. Stuart, plus a utility car and 50 cal machine gun. Been a long day. Been a long day. Hopefully I don't lose my mind any further. The cat's right here, so she'll keep me sane. Probably, most likely. Anyway, Volk squad continuing on, trying to capture those munitions. Storm Pioneer's coming on the flank. They're trying to do volley fire. I don't know against who. Nice mortar shot kills a few men. Incendiary though, going into the building should force them back. Oh, looks like the Americans have enough forces. Storm Pioneers will be pushed back, but they did some, once again, enough deep cuts to where they're taking away resources that the allies are the only ones they can get. So right now, I think that's the only point the allies actually have connected to their territory. This one point. Oh, it could be a lot better for them. A whole hell of a lot better. But, let's see. Keeler went with special operations doctrine. Lots of Volk squads. Again, also bonus would be infiltration tactics once you get enough command points for them. Upgrading also Dotton, SCG-44s, which should help them go toe-to-toe with some riflemen. That's also the big thing, is once they get the rifleman upgrade with bars, bazookas, that could be a big issue, but right now they still don't have a ton of resources. At least they finally connected that, so that's positive. He has an ambulance on the field to kind of heal near his base, so that's good. I like the positioning here so that the enemy can't necessarily see it. Once they do, though, they could possibly throw something over the hedges. Volk squad's engaging, really bad engagement over the open cover, and while the riflemen are engaging as well, they have 3 times as many men, so they're good. They're going to win that battle. Meanwhile, Volk squad trying to hold down the munitions while the American forces fight. I'm assuming there's a 50 cal suppressing them, so they're just trying to wait until the suppress, then move on in. Alright, not too shabby. Oh my god, you have the Wolverine tank destroyer bonus here. Do you have a Wolverine? You don't even have a Wolverine. Okay. Well, quick note, if you have an intel bulletin, make sure it's something that you can actually deploy. He can't deploy it, so it's going to be worthless. And that could have given a slight boost to another unit, like his riflemen, which are currently engaging. Incendiary going out, pushing the riflemen out of that cover. Storm Pioneers coming in from behind. This unit is actually in cover, but not, like, directionally, so Storm Pioneers should win that fight easily, and they will pull back. Oh, right. Oh, no, riflemen falling back. This could be bad for the Volk squad. Well, because of the Volk squad. And he's still focusing on this rifleman, so he didn't really put any pressure on it. Bez capturing the territory in the north. Again, the nice thing is the allies have their fuel point on the right, and even though the Axis are getting this one back, right now they don't have a lot of fuel coming in. They do have a little bit of a nice boost because of the territory. We already have a medical base over here, so a support gun maybe? Maybe. That could be helpful. Totenitz has, let's see, mechanized, so we could see a Luke's possibly deployed. Usually, Johnny always puts a Luke's at 6 to 7 minutes, so if you have someone that you know they're going mechanized, might be hard if they put their thing back at base, but if you know they're going to do that, the best thing to do is quite simply make sure you're prepared with an AT unit around that time. 50 cal set up in place to stop the blob. Again, this is where you want to spread out your forces more so you don't get suppressed. Luckily, unfortunately for the MG, which that guy just flew, by the way, he didn't do enough, so they're going to be able to throw incendiary on him. They're still going to be suppressed. The riflemen will continue that. As long as there's fire in their general direction, they'll stay suppressed. Nice mortar shot as well, doing not a lot of model damage, but a lot of health damage versing both of them. Ooh, another model down. Again, every little tick helps. Riflemen, rear echelon bazooka forces, okay, as a form of AT, are trying to fight, but they have 2 bazookas, so they only have 2 rifle. Well, they have 2 squads that can actually fire a rifle, so yeah, no, is it a rifle or a carbine? I think it might, something like that. Anyway, point of the matter is, it sucks, and not exactly an amazing frontline unit with their base weapons, but at least they're trying to hold, even though if they kinda, in the most part. I love this ambulance just driving around like, alright, who needs heals? Who needs the heals? We have a counterattack by the American player. Although, Germans have an MG here. They're getting that Luke's, like I mentioned earlier. We got Volk squads taking back the fuel. So, they'll have at least those resources coming on in. VP points is relatively similar. Neither side has really gained a clear advantage. Sturm Pioneers fighting, but the problem is these Sturms are fighting in negative cover. If they want a long-term survival rate, they want to make sure they get out of that negative cover, especially when they have an MG shooting them in the face. Another, the fighting position suppressing. I think it might be trying to throw incendiary. Oh, Verkadwerfer could come in. Good teamwork. I like that. There we go. Nice shot. Volk squad shouldn't have too much to worry about. Oh, wait. There's second MG. Opening fire on him. Maybe a little bit. Maybe something to worry about. Where is that Panzer II? There it is. I was wondering when it was going to come on in. Bazooka team, though. Oh, God. Alright, he got himself the bazooka. Again, pull back a little bit, but he can still fight. Bazookas don't exactly have the best accuracy. Neither does Panzerschrecks at extremely long range. That's why you see, like, Kubels in some of my games literally just dodging and weaving bazookas at far ranges. It's hilarious. But, point of the matter is, oh, he's doing armor-piercing rounds to try to hurt the Panzer II. Probably his Panzer II is still wrecking him pretty quickly. So, yeah, he needs to pull back. Overall, it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, what do we do? Well, in this situation, AT would be appropriate. Longer ranges, that way the Panzer II can't just skirt the outside of your AT range with the bazooka. Let's see, Volk squads and Sturms coming on in, but they're so low on health. He's probably going to get... He might lose that unit, honestly. Oh, he's so close. Not able to. Riflemen continue their advance. No grenades, though, so they can't blast him out of cover. Overall, he's being hit by 3 directions. He'll probably fall back. Half-track, though, coming on in for some support. That could be useful, along with this captain, which is just sitting here. So, yeah, unsure about that. Oh, Panzer II coming on in, though, taking an increased amount of damage. It is yet to get repairs. Half-track could do quite a bit, but luckily his Panzer II was going to the area in which it can't shoot him at. Unfortunately, he forgot about the Echelon with the bazooka team inside that I even didn't see. So, yeah, 2 bazookas to the face, like, medium range, neutralized it. Half-track, barely able to live, is going to limp on out of there and try to get back to base. So, we'll see how, again, quick repairs going into action. That's a big loss for the Germans of losing their light armor in the beginning. That's going to, a lot of fuel that, it went, I mean, to be fair, it did help them take back the right, but now the Americans are taking a right back. 50 cal being set down, though. If they're quick, they can react and try to get around it. It looks like they're going to do that. Again, like how they're separating, going 2 different directions so they can get close. They can't hit both guys with a single lane of fire. Volk squad being chased down. Riflemen trying to, but not enough firepower to put that unit out of its misery. MG opening fire on the riflemen. Probably will have to fall back as a negative cover. Let's see, Echelon continuing to put pressure here. Certain Pioneers, though, probably going to put that thing out of its misery real quick. unless they do a suppression or something, but it's too little too late. They're going to pull back to base. American forces pushing on in. This could be a big uh-oh. Riflemen's realizing and finding a Panzer headquarters, but these units are just sitting back. Dude, take the opportunity, kill the base. Oh my god, you have like 10 seconds left before it gets operational status. Focus on that. Ignore the infantry. Focus on this. Oh, it's only half. You only got like, not half, like a third. Maybe like 38, 40% more likely, but still, it's like, this thing doesn't have its turret. It's not going to immediately deploy and just start firing at you. That's not the case. So, yeah. Krieghound went with heavy cavalry, so we could see some rangers on the field, which would be a good AT unit and close range. Either way, you got. I know they're very heavy in terms of their cost overall for the Americans. You have a lot of frontline units already. Oh, too late. Wait, actually not. If you can keep the half-track firing, it's doing damage on it. You just need something to make sure that turret doesn't shoot it. I'm not saying you should sacrifice your American forces, but a smoke grenade could help. Or you could have dropped down the smoke barrage right here. That way the Panzer headquarters can't see, and you can't exactly direct fire with it, and have the half-track direct fire on the unit and possibly kill it, which would be a huge blow to Keeler if that was neutralized. Speaking of being neutralized, once again, the Americans are cut off, so the resources coming on in are slowed down. But they do have a cache. I will give them credit. They do have a cache. The problem, though, is for the OKW is they can't build caches as they are OKW. So right now the Americans might have a resource advantage in this game. Although the Germans, smartly realizing that, keep cutting off the Allied supplies, which is very good. Again, you want to make sure the enemy doesn't get it or use it to their advantage. So great job there. Really good pressure used. Now then, German forces pushing back on left, trying to retake that territory. Looks like they will do so really unchecked. I don't see any American forces quickly come in. The half-track could, but you don't want to move in because he has Verkehrwerfer, and oh man, base is already being healed. But yeah, they should know that at this point the enemy should have AT, so you don't want to just send a unit by itself, unless you're really quick on that smoke drop or really quick to get the hell out of town. Rifleman tried to do the same thing the Germans did, but there's a lot of Volk coming on in. Mortar, I don't know if that was point blank or whatnot, but it's very close to the front, and the Storm Pioneer squad did retreat. American forces coming on in to hold them back. And yeah, Major right there, just taking the point. So we know the Americans are closer to getting their own Shermans or armor. Incendiary going off should push them back over. It's funny because it's actually in water, but it's on fire. Yeah, that makes sense. Folks, again, fortunately I'm seeing a lot of Volk squads not upgraded. He has 260 munitions. I'm surprised we're not seeing upgraded Volk squads, unless he's doing an upgrade of another type. But he doesn't have that. He doesn't have the MP40 ability from was it Firstrom, that allows them with smoke and having a different set of weapons you can upgrade with. Doesn't have that, so I don't know why he's waiting for the upgrade. It's not like if you're trying to upgrade something else, then why rely so much on Volk squads? Like, for example, a lot of people, if they go scavenge or they go, oh, nice kill right there. And again, good job upgrading all your American forces with bars. So, nice. But, usually, you'll upgrade your men with SG-44s for a better combat efficiency and as well. Oh, nice howitzer shots, by the way. At least continuing to put pressure there. Or what you'll do is you'll use the other unit that you want to use, like a Jaeger squad or a Fallschirmjäger squad or a Soldaten squad, try to rush for that and get them out to kind of be the backbone while you have them as a secondary force. You don't necessarily want to rely too much on heavy infantry because it could be too much of a cost and burden. Hell, I hate using partisans because they don't last very long and they still have a decent cost to them for reinforcing. Which is why I just like, to them most of the time. Whereas a conscript, I'm like, oh yeah, cheap, easy to reinforce, so no problem there. So, anyway, American forces still trying to hold the line. They're doing so decently well. We have an AT gun opening fire. Hopefully, yeah, it is. It's using direct shots. Okay, now he's using direct shots. That's good. Panzer headquarters are going to stop the American forces. Unless that was the point. He's deploying something. It's almost Soldaten. That base, though, is very close to dying. He needs it in order to get himself a Panther or something along those lines. So, yeah, I would try to make sure that thing lives if possible. T-Gun's still putting pressure on him. No real counterattack. He is upgrading with his G44s on these units, so the Opel Sedan aren't being upgraded. We have also Don over here, of all things. And they're doing good long range. They're putting a little pressure on the lieutenant. We do have a combat force coming on in. Not exactly the best, but... And also could be upgraded. But he's trying. He's bringing in something to keep him off. American forces, though, still have yet to capture the fuel. So right now they're suffering a little bit of a fuel shortage for right now. One last... Oh, there we go. Panzer headquarters has been destroyed. That's a big blow to Keeler because that will stop him from getting armor. That should allow for the Allies to gain that lead, though the Allies did lose that 6-pounder, which if the Germans do take, would be a nice, like, substitute. I'm not saying it's worth it, but it's like you're saying, look, sir, we don't have the filet, but you know what? We still have this top sirloin, and it's still a good sirloin. It's just not going to beat that filet, but at least you got something from your troubles, if they could actually grab it, and the Americans don't. Although if the Americans go for it, the SCG-44s will rip them to shreds. Once again, Volksquad's going for that capture. Man, Totenitz is like, no, the Americans will not get supplies today. Sorry. I'm making sure you're constantly cut off. And, oh, God, the howitzer immediately pulverized that poor man. Volksquad's over here, though, pushing forward. Major artillery, though, coming into play, which is push back the MG. Again, cheap artillery, especially you get it upgraded up to Veteran C2. Or, like, startability, I'm sorry. It adds more to it, which is even better. The higher veterancy or major, the more bonuses you get. Though, again, once it dies, you're back to ground zero. It's like, oh god, let me think of a reference because I love my references. It's like Tom Clancy's End War. You have that amazing command vehicle. For the Europeans, I believe they had laser weapons. I thoroughly enjoyed the European one. I had like oh god, I think it was up to veterancy 5, I want to say. And like every battle and every ability, you would get upgraded. I love that thing. And then literally, just one day, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to spite the enemy. I'm going to nuke their unit on retreat. For those who don't know, once you call in a nuke or an orbital weapon or super weapon, the enemy can do the same thing. So then they saw my command vehicle being escaped. They're like, no, we're nuking it. And they did, and I lost it. And that's when I learned humility in games in terms of letting the enemy live so your units can live. Major, anyway, not doing a bad job holding the line in decent cover. But getting some veterancy. So they'll get additional recon, which is always great. American forces getting a triple cap in. They need it because the enemy currently has their own cap underway. A light V. Oh, they have a mine down. I mean, it's not going to do a ton of damage, but hey, at least it's something. MG moving on up way too close. Oh no, it was other MG guarding it. I don't think it was. I really don't think that was the plan. But that's what happened. Sherman though, at base, surprised this isn't moving up. Do we have any? I mean, like we have our cannon morphers, so at least that's good. But yeah, we have no German armor on the field, let alone the Americans deploying already 2 Shermans. So the American Shermans are on the field, so the Axis will need to stop them. Nice shock. Something shocked them. I'm assuming a Stern Pioneer squad, but not entirely sure how. Anyway, whatever the case may be, they got delayed a little bit. Cannon morpher might escape. Does escape. Good, good, good. Something just died. Not entirely sure what. MG's going to overtime. Again, these are MG34s. They're not exactly the best MG, but they will cause suppression. Unfortunately, once you drop in smoke, it's going to really suck. Oh, by the way, Totenitz went with Overwatch. So, have you deployed any Jaeger squads? No. Have you deployed Goliaths? No. Are you just doing that for the airstrike? Probably. Well, too bad. The enemy doesn't have any armor, so good luck with that. American forces going to retake that, their AT gun back. At least I assume. Artillery's being made. That's a little ballsy. Also, he's using that, like, combined arms ability, but, like, where's your armor? Oh, there it is. I was going to say. There it is, and now it's boosting everything. So. Positive. Armor's like, oh, right, I have to be close to everyone to get that bonus. So. Lots of artillery fire coming into play. Another Sherman, explosive rounds. Very smart. Again, I hate it when people don't use explosive rounds to target the infantry because it does so much damage. But this guy is, and he's putting a lot of pressure on the Germans all around. He might actually be seeing that base. Oh no, he's seeing the MG and missing. But the Volk squads won't be able to hold for too much longer. There's artillery. Oh, there's an airstrike coming on in. Okay, I really thought the anti-air would shoot that down, but the American anti-air is taking sweet, sweet time. Although there's a lot of planes right now. Come on, anti-air. I need you to start shooting down some planes. There we go. There's one. The other ones are still flying overhead. Giant blob knocks out the MG with ease. I was like, oh, it's like, is there any armor to hit? No, there isn't. Sorry, you lost. And then literally comes in and says, nuh-uh, there's one armor. I'm going to kill it. All right, you got one tank. Did you get Bez's tank? Yeah. So it looks like the Americans did lose a bit of their armor in that push. Then good strafe. Good strafe. God damn it. Toten's like, I want this point. The Americans can't seem to get him off. I would put a fighting position or something down just to stop him. Although he would somehow find a way, almost guaranteed. Artillery, though, is coming down from near the German HQ. I want to say it's right outside. Yeah. So, and actually, funny enough, I don't know if it's close enough, but that medical might heal it. If it does, that would be a huge, huge bonus in order to kind of keeping things healed in case the enemy does, like, a barrage ability of some type. Now, the Americans are limited in their artillery, as they only can do it via doctrine. Now, they do have a mortar carriage, but that's not exactly the rocket artillery that, like, the Germans and the Soviets can really bring to the table. So what do? Well, you could get a Calliope. I think that might be a good choice here. You can knock out a lot of the enemy units grouped up. You can try to get around their positions. By the way, nice explosive round shot push back to Sudan, though AT is well entrenched in that nice cover position. Oh, so close. Can you kill it? Take it out. Oh, great shot with the other Sherman going in for the kill. Sees two prized targets. Can he get one of them? He gets one of them. Can he get a double? Can he get a double? Merrick going in for the plate. He's going to aim for the shot. Oh, he actually might get a grand slam over here. Can he do it? No, he's looking at the artillery. Grand slam has been, well, ignored. Jagdpanzer is now coming on the field. At least it's a form of AT you can get. Unfortunately, though, that thing just perished. But if the American can't escape, no smoke down yet. Oh, they can always drop smoke, by the way, from the armor. Another Sherman coming in. Oh my god. More explosive shots. Fun fact, it's a Jagd Tiger. And like any sort of tank destroyer, like Jagdpanzer, Stug, or anything like that, explosive rounds won't hurt it. The reason why I say that is I know there's a difference slightly in armor between those units, between like a Panther or Panzer IV, but still, explosive rounds will not do a shit. So you want to make sure that you have something else, like AT, switched armor piercing, something in order to hold that thing back. Unfortunately, I believe the American AT is still in German hands. It is. So, yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. Another AT gun would be good, and it's not like Bez doesn't have manpower. He does. He can pump out more. It's just one of those things, like, I'm just surprised he is not doing so. So, yeah. Could be better. Could be a lot better for him. Anyway. We got another building going down in place. Again, Keeler trying to put back down his Panzer headquarters. Although Bez got himself a Calliope, or like he went with the doctrine, like I mentioned. So what he might try to do is try to use artillery to break these positions, break the artillery, which he possibly could. Unfortunately, he needs to take this side back, and he did just lose the cash, so that's going to cut their resources a bit more. Also, this Volksquad has a bar. He won't... Oh, nice major strike. Got the Verkadmore from retreat. That's a good AT gun to steal, if you can steal it. Americans in a bit of a pickle, but Germans using that opportunity to gain a little more ground, or at least trying to keep them back. Unfortunately, the lieutenant's going in, fires the shot, bounces off the front armor of the Jagdpanzer, though the MG is going to suppress them to keep them back from pushing up even further. Misses another shot. Again, going to need more AT in order to really hold that thing back, because it's like, bazooka, I've dealt with more. Yep, Volk Squad coming on in. Once again, no upgrades for him. Just surprise. They are taking some losses, though. I will say, Toten has lost some men, but he keeps going for those deep strikes, so I can't exactly blame him, even though he loses, like, Sudan and such to that. Panzer headquarters has not been upgraded yet. Double AT, though, in position. This Sherman's going in. Again, not entirely sure what the point of it was, and he's dropping smoke on one, but the other one should kill it. Yeah. Panzer headquarters, still no upgrade. I think it's like, is it going to live or not before I do it? Cool. Oh, no, Sherman. What is with this? I know in, like, Fury, they met, like, there's this myth, like, Shermans would lose 5-1 versus heavy armor, even though that literally they were grouped up in 5, and Germans, yes, did have some instances of that. Again, potential history is great, but like the myth that every single armor group was sent to die is blown completely out of the water. Though when you are going to enemy territory and there's literally could be wolves hidden in trees or in groups of civilians you don't know, yeah, that's horrifying. That's a horrifying feeling to know that you don't know what's coming around the corner. Although you can say that about any battlefield, but especially in their home country, you know that they're being a lot more what's the word I'm looking for? Desperate. Anyway, once again, Sherman going on in, unsure, switching to, I think it switched to armor piercing. Hopefully it did. Yes, it did. Fortunately, Panzerfaust are coming on in, which was horrifying once again in Fury. Smoke coming down, good idea. Jackson's still there, but they have to really focus on the Jagdpanzer. God, coming out, hits the Sherman. Jackson putting a nice shot in. Where's the AT? Just not, they still at base, just chilling. Sherman does die, fires one last shot, pushes back the Volk squad. Jackson hiding back, going in for some quick repairs. He doesn't have infantry to capitalize on it, so he might be able to quickly heal the unit and then get back out to the front. Although Volk squads are coming on in, they might be able to stop that repair from going on. And if they can steal the enemy Jackson, that would be a nice recovery for the Germans. Because again, if you could take the enemies, oh wait, they're using the bonus. Oh, yep, there it goes. Although there's two more Volk squads here, so Panzerfaust? Panzerfaust. Panzerfaust. Come on. Come on. There it goes. Now they just need to keep it back. He doesn't really have the infantry for it, even though he has so much manpower. It's ridiculous. Come on, man. What are you doing? Get that manpower out. MG holding it back. Looks like Calliope opened fire in this region. No, it didn't. They just did that, what, with the howitzer? Damn, that howitzer doing overtime. If that howitzer did that much damage, along with just some base rifleman support, that is a really damn good howitzer and a really damn good support structure from Krieg. Also, we have a Pershing on the field now, so that's horrifying for a German foe that literally, although it has a lot of AT, doesn't have any armor. And the Pershing is very good at killing infantry, so you have to be very cautious about that. Calliope killing the building, possibly going to kill that unit on retreat. Oh, he's so lucky. Oh, wait, nope. That unit's down to one. That's a 5-man squad. That man died on retreat. That's 2 squads that have just been KO'd. Keeler's definitely feeling that. Jagdpanzer coming in with an AT gun. Again, that 57mm. Not bad. Not bad AT gun at all to have. There's still some defenses. We have 2 MGs and good cover, so this blob is probably going to be taken care of. Again, I'm surprised we have not seen any Goliaths. I want some Goliaths because I always thoroughly enjoy their fights with the enemy and kind of like them going toe-to-toe with the allied forces and, okay, really just blowing them up to Kingdom Come. But, you know, there's a good, like, cat-and-mouse dynamic you have to go. So if a player can be not smart enough, but, like, patient enough to get that perfect strike, it's so worth it. Speaking of which, Volk Squad fortunately does perish to the captain, which is equipped with, I know he has a bazooka, but he does have the bar, so that probably allow him to do that. Something just blew up. I'm not entirely sure what it was. Did the Pershing die? The Pershing died. Are you kidding me? The Pershing died in mid to a hail of AT. Okay, fun fact. Try to keep your Pershing alive, people. Try to keep it alive. Really does help you. Really, really does. American forces coming on in. Gonna push back the Volk squad once again, going for that point. Calliope going point blank. Where's that Jagdpanzer when you need it? Jagdpanzer just realized, oh shit, this is my moment. And is moving on in. This artillery has also not been taken out, but also, not doing exactly all that. Well, okay, it's gotten 3 kills in bet 1. It's not doing terrible, but it could be doing a bit better overall. American forces keeping the Volk squads and El Sudan at bay from doing the cutoff. There's way too many of them, so they should be able to keep them back. Oh, nice close range artillery. The shotgun approach seemed to work, killing more El Sudan. Jagdpanzer, though, taking the opportunity to push. There is bazooka teams on standby. There should be something over here. There is nothing. There's a Vet 3 Major going around capturing territory. Sure, why not? Jagdpanzer's just waiting for a strike, though AT forces could move in to counter it. a lot of really good veteran units by Totentans. Totentans. There we go. I got these. I got these names. Alright, Jackson on standby. Again, very close killing that. Right now it's open. If they could do a recon, which he could absolutely aim in that general direction, he might be able to kill it. Unfortunately, too little too late. If he would have killed it like 30 seconds ago, this would not have been on the field. Now it is. So now you have to worry about a goddamn Command Panther, which is a pretty damn good Panther that literally has its own personal marked target, aka the Coordinate Fire ability, which, again, maybe doesn't cause things to die from damage, but it does cause things to have a higher chance of hitting the damn thing, which is what the Panther just realized is half the battle. We have recon going down somewhere from the flares. Not entirely sure where that is, although enough AT on the American side, that Panther might die along with the headquarters building. Super low. Like, no joke. It is incredibly low. Also, 16 kills with this half-track. A lot of infantry, and also good kill in the headquarters. So that Panther needs to live. Plane almost crashed into the building and or the unit retreating into said area. American forces being suppressed. I can only assume where it's going to hit. Yeah, you're all grouped up, buddy. So, yeah, I fully expected the American artillery to come in. Yeah, there goes 2 support equipment plus the AT guns dead. So the Americans we'll have to worry about that AT gun being in German hands. Looks like the artillery, though, is counter-firing that position. Gets a good shot on target, but the problem is they're just going to retreat it. It's mobile, so unless he's not paying attention, which we know he is, he's just going to be like, all right, backing up, and just make sure he gets out of there. It's not that big of a deal. So the American forces are trying to do a nice little counterattack. Again, poor Keeler. I would honestly pull your thing back. Like, it's not worth it to pull it up so much. I know you're trying to use it to guard the points, but I mean, look at this guy. He just has his Panzer headquarters back here and is just guarding this rear point and this point over here. That's fine. That's all you need. You don't need to push up any further. American forces focusing on the artillery probably will lose its life and its veterancy. Bazooka team's now focusing fire. Good idea. Neutral. Oh, Goliath! Go, baby, go. Go, baby, go. Gets 1 kill. Or 1 squad kill, I should say, with a little health damage. So that saved the lieutenant. Not lieutenant. Fuck. Lieutenant, I mean, for Bez alive, but that saved the LEFH. Now, the Americans do have a double VP cap, which is putting pressure on the Germans. The Americans do have a lot more points lost, so they're going to need to, you know, survive. I swear to God, I don't know what this Calliope's doing, but I feel like he's taunting these Volk squads. That's my headcanon. Jackson was moving on up at Panther and backed up by 2 Verkanwerfers, coming on in to push them back. AT gun on standby as well. Decapping this position. Half-track fighting the Jagdpanzer. Do you have any AT in the region? You have some troops still healing. Recon's overhead, which is weird. Why you pay like 80 resources for that like recon? I know it's doing the ring around where it's just okay, nice smoke, but he's still gonna follow unless the lieutenant can stop him. Nice dodge. Again, at least he missed. The Jagdpanzer's like, curse you, accuracy. But why are you using that? Oh, he doesn't have the major anymore. Go. Wait, did the major die over here? I have a feeling it died over here. I don't know, but damn it. That's why I used it. The major's gone. Curse you, logic. Alright, Bazooka team open fire. Nice double shot. Unfortunately, Jackson does perish from the Jagdpanzer. More shots coming on in with Bazooka. AT grenade being fired as well. Half-track being shot at while it's under repairs. This Jagdpanzer overextended, and now we're going to see a dead Jagdpanzer. Luckily, he could always deploy more armor. He's playing resources, but that is a bit of a loss, unfortunately. Command Panther now pushing on in. Once again, you just saw your teammate overextend and die. Be incredibly careful that that doesn't happen to you. And looks like he's going to pull back, but he's going to be very low on health. Another, like, 5 seconds there, and he probably would have died. So, good job, I guess, causing a bit of damage. The half-track did perish, so I guess that's good. The Vet 3, although the crew is still alive, so theoretically, you just get a new half-track, put in said crew, and get a Vet 3 or equivalent unit. Calliope now opening fire as retribution. Hitting mid, unfortunately, the only thing there is the poor Goliath, which, oh god, don't die. No, Goliath, live! You have so much to live for! And by live for, I mean to die for, because that's what you do. You die and blow up the enemy, so, you know. You're the, was it the Altorb? Oh god, it's the Pokemon that literally every time you come across it in the wild, you're like, I swear to Christ, Voltorb. I want to say it's right. It literally will self-destruct and kill your men. You're like, why? Why do I come across this guy? Why can't I just run? Anyway, unfortunately, that awesome. Oh wait, no, they pushed it back. I was so worried for this this howitzer. This is my favorite unit, by the way. It's done so much damage to the Germans. So much damage to them. Nice kill on the Vet 5 unit. Goliath's still amidst. They're still watching it. They're putting the points down against the Americans, which, by the way, are recapping territory. Again, unfortunately, both sides have not been able to hold a stable front, but it's led to an interesting game where you see this awesome back and forth with a lot of units lost, sure, but at least a decent back and forth. Once again, why aren't you upgrading your Volk squad? Don't know. And, yeah, okay, they at least got the AT guns. So that's good. Americans like, we grabbed it. We got it, guys. Pershing's on the field, but remember those Verken riffers from earlier? Yeah, they're still there, so you may want to pull back. Nice howitzer shot. Unfortunately, it's not enough to save the AT gun. Unfortunate. Command Panther, not fully healed, but I guess trying to fight that Pershing. They don't have any AT to support it. At least I don't see anything. They do have a unit to quickly heal the Pershing, so that's good. Just not enough to, well, do substantial damage. And the Verken riffers are right there, so they need an AT infantry unit rather than an armored unit. Meanwhile, Panther coming in by Totanes. So, yeah. Now that's a lot of armor going straight into enemy territory. Fortunately, if he gets close enough, he might get AT grenaded by the rifleman or bazooka or something like that. Other Sherman being pushed back. AT gun, though, is holding him until the Volk squad comes in with that American bar from earlier and says, "Nuh-uh, you're not pushing up." By the way, the artillery got recruited. It's just hasn't really done all that much. Airstrikes now coming on in against the American forces, which, where are they? Oh, there's Pershing. Might be just out of range for them, so I don't think it's going to do all that much. They'll, once again, cut off that territory. God, the Germans are like, this is our territory. Like, who did the Americans piss off to be the German command's like, no, we're going there. In actuality, they're doing it because they want to cut off the American resources. But luckily, the American has plenty of resource on the right. That even with that left cutoff, they're not losing too much. They already have the fuel on right. So overall, the Germans are still low on resources, even with the Germans cutting off the Allied territory in two. Airstrikes, though, will keep the American armor at bay, although it looks like the American armor is more repair-heavy right now than actually, like, combat-focused. They're like, no, we need to get our units back up to snuff before we push in. American forces are leading for a counterattack. This is the moment where the artillery would be quite nice. Just gets one good strike. Fortunately, it's already hitting middle. Rechelons are hopefully capturing the AT gun. Americans are spreading everywhere. I mean, Germans are on their retreat for sure, but they're not losing. Hold on. Artillery strike comes in. Panther was crippled, but did make it back to base. Nice shots on the artillery and the armor. Does a decent amount of damage to both. Almost killing the artillery. American forces are just waiting outside the victory point. Not sure what's currently delaying them. I will say Keeler did lose a number of men trying to defend, so unfortunately, a bit of a pickle. Yeah, I was going to say heal up, wait for the German counterattack. Oh, dude, that poor Panzer headquarters. Keeler, I'm not saying not to put it there. What I'm saying is get the fuck out of there, because you can't live. Oh, thank you. The Goliath's like, I'm just going to wait here just because I know you're dead. There's nothing you can do. Good Goliath play. MG's over here, no real AT, so the Sherman will slowly push them back. I know the Obsidian are trying to just keep the territory under their control. That's fine. Just unfortunately not able, or just not enough, I should say. They need something a bit more. Because, yeah, if the American forces keep building, which they are, they will outnumber the Germans quite soon. So the Germans need to do something quick. Panther coming in, that will do something. Once again, misses. God damn. What I'm learning is accuracy was apparently not really taught. It's like, just aim in that general direction. But anyway, Shermans do connect some good hits in, just not a lot of damage. Panzer headquarters and AT are on standby. I don't know what the Shermans are attempting to do, but they don't have a Jackson, which is the big thing that would crack this walnut. So in the meantime, Panther on the left is also fighting, but this guy has at least 8 AT in his infantry. Focus on the Obsidian, but sure. Sherman just up on the ridge. I'm assuming explosive rounds to try to kill that unit. Up, no armor piercing. You're dead. You're already dead. And yeah, that is the case. He will retreat. He'll try to retreat. I'm sorry, but he'll die. Germans though control 2 victory points, so they're still putting pressure on the Americans. Americans pushing forward, trying to break that position. Doing a decent job. We have Panzer IV being made? Keeler, you have like 2. I mean, like, I guess you're trying to focus on the infantry. Also, a lot of rear echelons I'm seeing. So, okay. Pershing being marked. Can he get the final shot? Nope. Can't put the final nail in that Panther's coffin. Though he's low enough, I would definitely pull back. Calliope's coming on in. That Stern Pioneer is going to die if he doesn't retreat immediately. Because, fun fact, repairing while rockets are coming in increases your chance of death by like 1,000%. Or some, like, again, it will kill you. Vet 5 Volksquad, once again, no upgrades. It's been like so long. Is just chilling in the building, being like, yeah, if there's anything come by, I'll take it out. But we are seeing the Germans get more armor, where the Allies are still kind of losing it across the board. Again, he's pushing into the enemy base. It's weird. By the way, the Americans can place mines, but I guess they're just kind of saving up or using it for other things. Nice bounce off that Calliope and dodge. Panthers pushing on in. We actually might see the entire Axis force that literally just popped out be annihilated. There's one piece of armor. The Panther, not a bad casualty. That will keep him from having a good armor force to just come in and just start knocking out the artillery for at least a bit of time. The Panzer IV took some damage. The other Panthers still getting repairs. This gives a brief window for the Americans that they have the armor advantage, because I believe they at least have one. Okay, they have one armored vehicle that isn't KO'd right now, so he can focus on killing this stuff. Watch out for the AT, of course, but he could focus on it and at least gain a small window. Anytime an armored unit is out of commission, take that advantage. Push on the territory so that way you can gain advantage on the map. You have to be cognizant of enemy forces that have AT in them, but also note that that's something to do. Now, unfortunately, this Panther did come out during that window. Obsidian went to a building that literally is so close to dying, it's being held up by a single piece of wood that will probably break in that one last shot, which he doesn't do, which is okay. Bazooka teams could open fire, hold them back, get a shot, but it's, I think, one bazooka. It's not all that much. And Rangers would be so much better in the AT department. And a lot of American forces, though, about to die in mid. Luckily, he realized this, and the German dodges that grenade. And he does also retreat, so that's good. We got Jackson on the field, finally, to push back that Panther. Awesome. So that's being driven back over the lines. Also, Axis are down to under 300 points. Good, because, well, the Allies are at 90, so they need anything they can get in order to hold that position. Population, though, Bez did lose quite a bit, though a lot of it is just outside of the vehicles, so we could possibly get it back. But I'm talking about his frontline troops. He has one captain with a mixed set of arms. He needs a more stable force. He doesn't have that via doctrine-like ability, but what he could do is just get some more riflemen and just equip them. Oh, great shot with the Calliope, just annihilating a lot of the units. I was going to say, there was one Vet 5 unit, and then it got annihilated. So Keeler just lost his frontline force, reducing that to a lot of really support units and armor. He has a Panther, he has a Panzer IV, and a Jagdtiger. So he has some things at his disposal. If the armor can go in uncontested, and if Bez doesn't have a decent enough AT force, same thing with Krieg, that could be enough. Again, I don't know why the Sherman keeps diving in. Their casualty rate is going to be similar to Fury at this point, where it literally will be an allied slaughter of armor. For Kenwerfer is repositioning, you need to focus on it, but they have nothing to. Panther will escape. Jackson might die, honestly, if they can't get out of there. Luckily, a nice smoke drop will save them. I was going to say white phosphorus, don't know why. Nice shot, kills the Sherman that was trying to hide in this little, like, trench fortified area. 18-1, not trying to hit the Panzer IV. Body's trying to follow him, but unfortunately not able to. And the Panzer IV will escape over the hedges. Now, let's see. Pershing also opening fire. I don't actually... Oh, no, he's focusing on vehicles, so he won't immediately shoot armor. So that's a thing. Yeah, Obsidian is shredding him. MG as well, currently putting a lot of pressure on him. Opsodon taking over territory, so the Americans, unfortunately, will start losing points again. Although the combined weapons they have here will do enough. Do we have a Goliath anywhere? I'm not asking that because I want to see them blow up. I'm asking that because I need to see them blow up. But no, nothing yet. Although he has enough for an airstrike, so at least if the... I have a feeling that he'll pop that in if he realizes the enemy has too much armor for even him to fight. The way I feel like for the most part, the Germans in a frontline fight with armor have been winning. It's when they do those dives that they lose a lot, which is the same thing for the Americans. Don't dive your armor unless you have good support. Like those the Panther and everything that dived here, I get the idea behind it. They want to try to kill that Pershing or something, but unless you know you can knock out the enemy AT, don't dive. Like, it's just one of those things. Or if it's a cost-benefit analysis. Okay, this Panther, I don't mind losing. That's fine. But we can see here from the Germans that they are really low in resources. So, yeah, they can't exactly afford to lose another Panther and other things. Like, if he lost his Panther right now, he cannot get it for another few minutes. So that's my rule. It's like, you need to have a unit's worth plus a little more. Nice artillery, though. It looks like it is actually hitting the base. So it is actually doing something. It only has 1 kill right now. So that artillery is possibly not been a good investment compared to like this Calliope, which has gotten 36 kills. It has been just wrecking house left and right. Oh god, this poor Panzer IV. Oh no, it's a trap. Jagdpanzer's there. Panzer IV might just take a lot of the action. Although Major is being slaughtered. Not entirely sure why he was sent there by himself. But Panzer IV does die. AT gun repositioning, hopefully to hit that Jagdpanzer, along with some nice shots against it. Pershing pulling back. Echelons are going in for heals. American forces giving chase. We know the Panzer headquarters there again, but the howitzer is still alive? Yeah, it's... goddamn, this thing is still alive. It's in mid, though. Maybe refocus it over. Americans are capturing mid. They also have the left. Barely. 1 rifleman force is currently guarding it. Maybe... is there any cover here? Not really. There's a little bit of, like, destroyed cover. Incendiary going off, so it looks like both troops will most likely retreat, I would have to assume. Also, really nice veterancy. Goddamn, Creekhound has a ton of good veteran units. I mean, yeah, we can see here that Keeler has 1, and Totans has actually quite a number. He's like, so that's pretty damn good. 35 kills that Opsodon squad. That's his best unit right now. Both the Volk squads have 23 kills. Nice. We have the... something just died. Jackson goes in for a strike. Okay, there we go. That's a good dive, because you know the enemy doesn't have anything, and you push forward. Now, unfortunately, the enemy is trying to push forward in mid. I don't know if he's trying to do that to kill the guys in retreat or what, but it is kind of working. It is pulling back the Axis armor, and unfortunately, the bazookas are just not doing a lot. It did like 5% damage, maybe 10. There we go. That was some good AT shots and bazooka shots. That brought him down to like 45% health. Unfortunately, the Volks and Sturm are still going to shred him. Please kill that Volk squad, maybe. At least get your bar back. Come on. The Americans are like, all right, the loan is over. We want it back. Pershing back on the field and trying to fight. This Panther is injured. Not sure why it's just sitting there. Don't you have a mechanized? Oh, it's being used by the other Panther. Jagdpanzer being called in. Nice artillery strike is going to shred that infantry. Kill the Opsodon. Kill the NG. And once again, Keeler loses all of his vetted troops except for that 1 Panther. Airstrikes, though, are being called in. That will pull back a lot of the armor, though. Once again, great kills by the Calliope. And, yeah, the Pershing also will stay out of that region. But that will give the Germans a little bit of breathing room. It'll give them time to hold that position, refocus, reinforce, and possibly hold that position down so they can win against another decisive Allied counterattack, which they know is coming. They have to know. Also, they have recon here, so they can see what the enemy has in the area, and they can anticipate that attack. We can see here like where the recon can currently see and where like other units are currently fighting. So okay, so they have a good idea when the Americans are coming. Another Sherman coming out. Also, Bez lost a lot of his units. That captain's still around though. Gotta give it up to that captain. But everything else not looking great. AT gun moving in. They're desperate to capture that territory if they're moving up AT, which is weird because he has a decent amount of manpower. He could call in more. So once again, unsure about what that is supposed to do, what that is. Sherman as well, about to put pressure on the Volk squad. Pershing putting a good amount of pressure there. Artillery's coming in. Oh, nice. Artillery came in. A little damage. Pershing, lots of damage. Pershing now has to worry about that Panther with a Verkenwerfer guarding it. Really smart. Again, good team play right here between the two players. Again, having the Command Panther take the brunt of the fire while the Verkenwerfer gets in those nice side hits and pushes back to Pershing. Though Calliope's coming in. Oh my god. This support equipment can't catch a break. Yep, there it goes. No joke, there it all goes. Artillery, though, is getting some decent shots against the infantry. Up to 7 kills. Command Panther once again has to pull back. It sucks that the Americans do not have like a direct strike or P-47s or something to really follow up with this. I've really been enjoying the Calliope and stuff like that, so I can't say he should have changed off that. Krieghound, however, maybe I would have changed his doctrine a little bit. Pershing's holding fine, but maybe have, let's see, possibly recon support or something like that, where you can stun the armor with mines coming from the sky or something. Really put pressure on them. Anyway, Allies making a last-ditch effort to hold these positions, but they do not have enough. Their lines are stretched thin. Like, that AT can't fight Double Sedan. That Sherman can't fight a Panther. Like, there's no way. There's nothing. Like, there's nothing to back him up. So while Krieghound is doing great, Bez is the guy that's really falling apart. And which sucks because he should honestly not be fighting in mid. Like, if I was him, I would focus all my efforts away. I know that might seem risky, but right now, your units are so spread out that I think you're just not able to control everything. If that's the issue, maybe just pulling your forces into a more concentrated, not blob of sense, but a more centralized area so you can quickly micro between those units rather than going across the map a little bit more and having to micro these stuff, which may or may not die. Although, again, I'll give you credit with the Calliope. You're definitely being a very helpful teammate. Calliope once again comes in. Say goodbye to all the MGs. Yeah, it's not looking all that great. 59 kills, by the way, for that Calliope. My favorite unit right now in this game. Panther, though, coming in once again on the Jackson. Gets a decent shot. Panther returns the favor and gets a good shot on it. No AT to really speak of. I know he has a bazooka team with him. Oh, God, never mind. He got annihilated. Yeah, never mind. Pull back the unit. Oh, don't let this be the end of the captain. It's going to be the end of the cap. God damn it. It's so much to live for. Pershing trying to come on in, but not enough. Again, he has AT coming in, but so do the Germans with Verkenwerfer. Allies are down to 25 points. This might be a good choke point, though. They might be able to kill the Panzer IV if they're lucky. Yep, Panzer IV dies. We have an airstrike coming on in. And say goodbye to the Pershing, everyone. Neutralized, taken out. The American forces will have to hold against all that armor, which is not good at all. And yeah, with the airstrikes coming on in, no additional armor can come into support. If they do, they'll probably die. And yeah, the Germans will lock down that territory. Oh my god, there's an MG currently taking mid. Are you serious? I feel like this is an oversight on the German command. You really need to send something. Jackson, realizing the vulnerability, funny enough, actually goes over. Calliope just chilling, not entirely sure what it's doing. Again, he's doing good in some attacks, but then he leaves us stuff like this where he should immediately retreated. Bez is down to nothing. He does have tons of resources he could use. Can they actually kill this Jackson? Not Jackson. Can they kill it with the Jackson? They might. They do. I don't understand this. He's somehow doing great and terrible at the same time. It's weird, but German forces are retaking mid. Jackson fired and kind of missed. Sherman, sorry, there's another Jackson on the field. Again, trying to get anything he possibly can. Krieghound, by the way, has tons of fuel, so we can easily deploy another Pershing in the future if he wants to. Calliope is being called in once again. He has no infantry to speak of, though he has plenty of resources. So I feel like Bez is just a player, unfortunately, that you're good. Like, I can tell that you have some good plays. I think your reaction's a little slow. So maybe just kind of shorten your line a little bit. That way you could really focus. A great example might be something like, I watch Bo Cohen a lot, and he has a lot of good members, but some of them aren't up to snuff with like him. But to counter that, what they'll do is they'll put them as miners and they'll have them control small fronts. Although it's hilarious when you do see the smaller players come into action and really like when they do have like this big giant thing going on, they end up dying, and you're like, oh, how'd that happen? It's like, well, they're not as quick as their front. So, and since they had such a huge front, they were slow on reacting and just had like entire groups encircled or something like that. But just commentary on like reaction time. But yeah, it looks like although a lot of caches were placed by the allies, I'll give him that. So at least he's trying to help. He just can't defend any of them, so there probably a lot of them will die. And he doesn't have frontline units to help grab territory, so the allies are holding, but I have no idea how long it's going to last. So Jackson being hit by artillery, not helpful. Hits the cache though, so that will save the Jackson from a shot. Will the Panther hits the cache again? So that's good, although the artillery is getting dangerously close to hitting that Jackson. Panther gets out once again. They cannot kill that Command Panther. It just always gets out in one piece. Nice AT grenade, though, will cause him not to come back for a little longer. Grenade doesn't really get a target, loses a lot of his men, and I feel like this is pretty much game. I'm just going to fast forward it here because I don't think they're going to be able to hold. They just don't have the manpower. Although they will get another kill, it looks like. Maybe. Nope. Pershing going in too deep. Panzer IV giving chase. Will die from the AT gun, which is good. Jackson being overrun by the AT. Calliope opening fire, neutralizes all of it. But yeah, there's still one left to hit it. They do need to grab mid, but unfortunately, Critic Hound left. He's like, F this. I don't blame him. I really don't. And yeah, that's going to be it for this game. Pretty much. I mean, they'll try. AI will try. Toten is saying GG. Not bad. Teammate right there. So at least he's being nice in that respect. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Again, I'll look at damage before I give positive negatives. I will say, so much stuff was sacrificed over the course of this game. So many units died. Preservation's a huge thing that both sides kind of ignore. I don't know how this Command Panther keeps going in and out. If the allies concentrate, they probably could kill it. But once again, it'll probably escape. 10 points remaining. He doesn't care anymore. And yeah, the other guy quit, it looks like. Damage-wise, allies got a ton of kills. I can't say they didn't. They both got over 200. And but Krieg Hound did more damage, although Bez got more kills. I'm going to assume that was with the goddamn Calliope. So by the way, Totanitz is the person who submitted this replay, so thank you very much for doing that. But yeah, really good job there. Panther was it. Wait, hold on. What am I looking at? Oh, Panther for Totanitz. Again, good job, Command Panther. For Keeler. Again, both good. You did lose a lot of units. Keeler, your Panzer headquarters could have been better. Good infantry attacks, though. Totanitz, I feel like great Goliath plays and some good targets. Once again, you lost a lot of armor. Artillery maybe wasn't up to snuff. On the, it got some kills, but not like amazing shots in. So there's that. You did kill the ambulance, I believe, so good job there. Yeah, he got most damage, though, and most kills, Totanitz. So really good job with that. What did the American get? So curious. Jackson. Calliope didn't get it. God damn. Alright, but 15k for the Jackson. And Rifleman got it. 88 kills. Good job. But yeah, I feel like this game is a lot of map control issues. Both sides kept swinging back and forth wildly. There would be some good plays and be some weird plays where it's like, where's the support? Where's the follow-up action? Where's the thing covering your unit? But yeah, just like some of those instances. But overall, not too shabby. Not too shabby, the game. Just work on preservation. Work on trying to keep units alive. Work on when to strike and when not to. You had some good strikes and some bad strikes on both sides. So again, kind of something along those lines. Just when is the best time to advance so I don't lose my unit? That really is probably the key of this game. But in any case, what do you guys think? Leave it down below. This has been Greyshot17, and I'll see all of you next time. Hello everyone, before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Joey G240, Josh, Milam, Ace, Ion, Ollie, Pyro Shark, and Jacob Allswy. Thank you all so very much for your amazing support. You keep this channel going, so thank you. Remember guys, if you want to be an awesome Patreon supporter, you can do so down below. But otherwise, it's been Greyshot17, and I'll see all of you next time.